What is up, everybody? It's Verdict here, and thank you so much for stopping by. Ladies and gentlemen, we have some great news. Of course, today we're going to talk a lot about data mining. We'll be talking about basically what the different communities across the world have managed to find. We will not be crediting any of them just to keep them safe. As always, remember guys, data mining is against terms of service. I do not promote it, but I definitely do enjoy reading about it whenever it goes live. I will not be, again, crediting any of the individuals whatsoever, but this information is not gathered by me. It's been provided towards me and additional things that are publicly available onto their respective sources, let's just say it as such. So here's what I can tell you guys. Savior has been landing on Global Labs with her container. Now let me explain to you really quick what a container is. Of course, container is where the files for the class are supposed to land once they are being provided onto the Global Labs, or essentially into the server or the live service game. What this means, again, is that Pearl Abyss are already into high-end production of the class, because soon TM, they are looking to add the class onto Global Labs. Now, a little bit more context to this, just so you guys understand what I mean about this. Typically, a development cycle goes like this. The developers start creating a class, they begin the testing themselves, then that's being uploaded onto a server where quality assurance can happen, and then it's a couple of months of that before we get it right around the time of release, so we can test it for the final few days, where basically at that point is just class balancing towards the extent in which Pearl Abyss can do it. This is very, very good. Now, the expectancy of Savior, however, was something rumored to be released with Idania Part 2. The initial plan that we thought Pearl Abyss were having was Idania Part 1 following with Dawnbreak, and then once Dawnbreak lands and it's done, we go over to Idania Part 2. However, that might not be the case anymore, and remember what Pearl Abyss said, guys. Remember very well. Idania Part 2 was supposed to be the introduction of Savior, but right now, according to what Pearl Abyss said onto the mobile dev talk, which they did, Savior will be joining alongside mobile for a full-blown global release, and is going to happen around Caltheon Ball this December. So in reality, if we were expecting this to happen next year, it's not. It will happen this year, which I'm sure everybody is very excited about. A little bit more over to what Savior is going to be. So in Idania, we got some very good Savior lore, which I'm currently in production of a video about. And yesterday we got the 2 episodes of her audiobook, which confirms basically that everything I've been talking about the class is pretty much almost correct. The only thing that I really wasn't on point was, or at least so far we don't know that it is that she might be tied to Nova's lore. In reality, she isn't. It's just that Savior is going to provide a very big, in-depth topic over the Shadow Knights and Caltheon, which was essentially my very first guess that after Wukong, we will be getting a Shadow Knight / Fraternity of Light class. And lo and behold, Savior has been right now confirmed to be of the Fraternity of Light. So, or in other words, what I'm saying, on this channel, we don't really talk a lot of bullcrap. Like and subscribe because, yeah, we're consistent with those things. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, what can we expect out of Savior? So, as I said into the past video, she is heavily related towards the church, obviously, now that is confirmed. I spoke specifically how she might be a 2-part class, such as Succession and Awakening, and one of the counterparts would be her falling to the corruption, or a mechanic within her class, which is going to go about fighting that corruption so she stays within the light. That's going to be very cool if it's indeed true. But we have no idea, or at least I don't recall Pearl Abyss stating whether or not this is going to be a Succession Awakening class or an Ascension class. Hopefully it's not an Ascension class, because, you know, as we all know, Ascension classes are a hit and miss by default, because you don't have the option, oh, I don't like Succession, but Awakening suits me more, so you go for that and you still stay within the class. It kind of looks like Savior will definitely be playing onto the thematics of the church. Will she be a default paladin support? We still do not know, very unlikely, but it does seem that what's being spoken to us within the Idania content and now with the Fraternity of Light revelations within her audiobook is that Savior will definitely be a paladin fighting onto the battle of corruption, and this is the entirety of her arc, her justice, her order within Idania, as you know, Spoiler alert, the Ashen Wing lost her life at the end, but, you know, she will get resurrected. But anyways, I'm going a little bit onto a tangent here. Guys, Savior is coming. We're expecting her this year for sure, 100%. And my theory is that she might even arrive earlier than Calpheon Ball, and Calpheon Ball might be her awakening. But this is just speculation for now. Thank you so much for watching, ladies and gents. I will see you soon. Onto the Savior lore video. We have a couple of shorts ready this weekend. Beginning of next week, we're going to get it all out. Thanks so much for watching. Mwah. Love you to death. And yeah, I'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.